Dear presidents, delegates, friends, European colleagues, and colleagues from across the oceans, thank you for joining us today for this historical moment for our organization. Today, we are gathered virtually for very special reasons. We are here to celebrate the European Speech and Language Therapy Day, as we have been doing every 6th March since 2004. And I am aware that there are numerous events going on around Europe as we speak. We are here to unveil and launch ESLA, the European Speech and Language Therapy Association. But we are also here to celebrate the rich heritage of CIPLOL, an organization that was born on 6th March 1988, thanks to 9 European organizations brought together on the instigation of the Fédération Nationale des Orthophonistes in France. These associations came together with a common aim to safeguard and promote our profession in Europe. 31 years later, CIPLOL still firmly believes in the objectives for which it was founded and wants to do more. It wants to have a stronger voice in Europe, or rather, to use a more appropriate SLT term, a more resonant voice in Europe. And most importantly, it wants to be of more value to its member organizations. We are extremely grateful to the organizations that founded CIPLOL, to all member organizations, past and present, and all the delegates who worked hard to implement the aims of the organization. There have been numerous working groups throughout the years whose target was to raise awareness of our profession, to produce documents for both us professionals as well as our clients and patients, in practice development, education, research collaboration, and policies. Most of us present here today can relate to long commission meetings, discussions and workshops, discussions which carry over through coffee, lunch breaks, and dinner, the participation of which was all on a voluntary basis. And why do we do it? Why do we continue doing it? The answer is simple: because we love our profession, because we want to improve ourselves, and because we are mindful that we have an ethical obligation towards individuals with communication and swallowing disorders so they can have a better quality of life. And that's the beauty of CIPLOL. From the first day that I sat at my first CIPLOL commission meeting 13 years ago, I have been fascinated by the willingness of people from so many different cultures to sit together, discuss, argue, and ultimately find a compromise to fulfill the aims of CIPLOL. I have been awed by the openness of people to share good practices and support each other in achieving better standards on a national basis. CIPLOL has always been a very good networking platform for European SLTs, and this was enhanced by the organization's strive to maintain our triennial appointment of the Congress, organizing a total of 10 so far. When the request for restructuring was proposed to the General Assembly, several people embraced this request, while others were scared of the possible change. And that is okay. It's perfectly normal for humans to fear change. Research shows us that we may fear the new because of the uncertainty it brings. We may also fear change because we fear that we might lose what's associated with that change. And these are things that were kept in mind throughout the restructuring process in these past few years. The Assembly did not want CIPLOL to lose anything. On the contrary, we wanted to gain more. The Assembly saw this request, yes, as a challenge, but also as an opportunity to make CIPLOL more in line with current progress of the profession, needs of member associations, as well as the political situation in different European countries. So ESLA, the European Speech and Language Therapy Association, is indeed CIPLOL and more. It wants to continue ensuring initial training is of an acceptable standard in all Europe. ESLA wants to promote research. It wants to be closer to its members and also to students who are the future of our profession. ESLA also firmly believes in collaborative partnerships. We are in fact partnering with SL PhD Network, an international network of early stage researchers and PhD students in the field of speech and language pathology and therapy. And we are also preparing collaboration agreements with other international professional organizations. And I greet all of the members of these organizations who are present with us this morning. Instead of working groups, we now have task forces with set objectives to be achieved in a set time frame. So far, we currently have 5 task forces in place, namely the Congress Task Force, Communications Strategy, SLT Day and SLT Awareness, Educational and Professional Materials, and the Additional Revenue. I thank all the volunteers for their energy and enthusiasm to achieve these objectives. 2020 certainly challenged all professionals to continue rendering their services in a novel way, while still abiding by their codes of practice and codes of ethics. Our profession was indeed no exception to this. We felt an obligation towards our various client groups of individuals with communication and swallowing disorders. We wanted to do our utmost to ensure that our clients and patients continue to receive the intervention they require and not add on to their vulnerability, which may have already been present before the start of the pandemic. I am therefore pleased to say that throughout last year, CIPLOL was in the forefront to encourage SLTs all over Europe to make use of telepractice in the best interests of our clients and was also in contact with policymakers in Europe in this regard. And I am sure you are all looking forward to hearing more about telepractice from our special guest speaker, Dr. Mika Morman, later this morning. Now, please bear with me to thank a few people without whom today's goal wouldn't have been possible. My heartfelt thanks go to all organizations that have been or are part of CIPLOL, the numerous delegates and the executive committee members who have voluntarily dedicated endless hours from their time to CIPLOL, some of them even for many, many years. I would like to thank the past presidents Jacques Roussy, Ben Mondelars, and Brigitta Rosen Gustafsson, and the past presidents who have joined us this morning, Linda Schrey and Hanneke Kalf. There are several past delegates and past executive committee members who have also joined us today. The list is quite long, so I won't name them all as I wouldn't want to leave anybody out. Thank you, all of you. However, please do allow me to name the immediate past executive committee who were responsible for the initiation of the restructuring process as requested by the General Assembly and handed the restructuring process to the current board. Thank you, Raphael Lacitro, Mette van Amerongen, Tora Masdottir, and Baiba Trinite. And thank you, immediate past General Secretary Ulrika Gullstrand and immediate past President Michelle Kaufmann-Meyer for your incessant work and vision that this journey could indeed be handled. I promise you all that the current board, delegates, and task force members are doing their utmost to carry on the work you started. I also would like to thank members of the restructuring group who worked hard to lay the groundwork for this process. And I also thank our young and energetic social media group who will be very busy tweeting and posting on our social media this morning. Last but not least, a big thank you to my dear colleagues and friends of the board. Fofi Constantinidou, Deputy Chair, who is also very kindly moderating our webinar this morning, our General Secretary, Eliana Mantaka-Brinkman, our Treasurer, Giuseppe Mancini, Blazenka Brozovic, and Jenta Slimers. You all bring your expertise at the table selflessly, with energy, dedication, and enthusiasm. Thank you for your support and believe in ESLA. I can assure you all that the pandemic tried to come in our way to stop us from working hard, but it actually made us more determined to achieve our goals. And how can I not mention our wonderful administrator, Hazel Rodham? We are blessed to have an administrator who is a most reputable SLT in her own right and thus perfectly understands the needs of our organization. Finally, I wish to thank not only my husband and daughter, but all the families of all the volunteers I mentioned. With your support, you are unknowingly giving a huge contribution to our organization. We are very excited about the imminent launch of ESLA and the image we are working to portray across Europe and beyond. Therefore, the help received from all the people that I mentioned in achieving this goal is truly greatly appreciated and priceless. ESLA is a continuation of CIPLOL. ESLA is all the speech language therapists in Europe. Thank you, CIPLOL, and welcome, ESLA.